This season, iRacing has released 2 new GT3 cars. Currently, there are as many as 11 different brands of GT3 cars available for racing. This season also introduced 3 major regional series for GT3: Asian, American, and European GT Challenge. Faced with so many choices, as a GT3 novice, which GT3 car should you pick to be competitive? Today, we'll briefly go through the performance of each iRacing GT3 cars under fixed setups based on race data, car characteristics, and driving feel. First, we took these 11 cars to the oval layout of Monza for a top speed run. Guess which car had the highest top speed? The answer is the new BMW M4 GT3 Evo, which takes the title of Straight Line King with a dominant 277 km/h. Coming in second is the newly released Aston Martin GT3, while the Mercedes AMG GT3 and the Ferrari 296 GT3 also showed notable top speed. Cars with higher top speeds have an advantage on tracks with many high-speed corners and long straights. Therefore, on high-speed circuits like Red Bull Ring, Mugello, and Road America, choosing the BMW, Aston Martin, Mercedes AMG, or Ferrari GT3 would be the better choice. It's worth noting that amongst the current iRacing GT3 BOP, the front-engine rear drive cars are generally strong on most tracks. These are the BMW M4 GT3 Evo, Aston Martin's Vantage GT3, Mercedes AMG GT3, and the Ford Mustang GT3. Although these cars share a similar engine layout and configuration, the characteristics and driving feel are all very unique. Among them, the BMW and Aston Martin are the easier option, with a more stable rear end in corners. The Mercedes and Mustang have more active rear end mid-corner, making them more suited for twisty, low to medium speed tracks. Between these two, the Mustang is the most sensitive to inputs. While it has a higher skill ceiling, this characteristic often makes it a favorite amongst high-rated drivers. Moving on from the FR cars, let's look at the MR models. These are the Ferrari 296 GT3, McLaren 720S GT3 Evo, Acura NSX GT3 Evo, Lamborghini Huracan GT3 Evo, Audi R8 GT3 Evo 2, and the Chevrolet Corvette Z06 GT3R. Among this group of MR cars, the standouts are the Ferrari 296 GT3 and the McLaren 720S GT3 Evo. Across the 8 tracks tested, the Ferrari 296 GT3 held its own even against the 4 dominant FR cars, thanks to its handling stability and decent straight line speed, making it a top-tier contender amongst the MR cars. The McLaren 720S GT3 Evo offers good cornering dynamics while remaining relatively easy to pick up. Among the other 4 MR cars, the Acura NSX GT3 Evo was once one of the strongest GT3 cars in iRacing. While its performance has been nerfed and it can't quite match the Ferrari or the McLaren now, it still remains as a stable and easy to pick up car. The remaining 3 are less forgiving. However, the Lamborghini Huracan GT3 Evo occasionally shines, especially on tracks with tighter sequences where its responsive nature can bring in performance. The Audi R8 GT3 Evo 2 lacks competitiveness somewhat due to its straight line deficit, but its sharp turn-in and overall responsiveness can give it an advantage in wet conditions. The Chevrolet Corvette Z06 GT3R is somewhat of an outlier. It is not as stable as the others. Instead, its overall handling and dynamic are quite floaty, making it one of the most challenging GT3 cars to drive. However, in the hands of a few specialists, its characteristics can be leveraged for explosive performance. Finally, let's talk about the most unique layout, the only RR on the grid, Porsche 992 GT3R. Although it tied with the Audi R8 GT3 for the lowest top speed in our test, cornering is the Porsche's forte. It's agile on turn-in and stable on exit. In addition, the 992 generation has become a lot easier to handle while retaining plenty of driving fun. Also, by analyzing usage rates over the past 2 weeks, we found that despite its average competitiveness, the Porsche's usage rate remains steadily in second place. This indicates it strikes a good balance between driving feel, ease of control, and competitiveness. That wraps up for the overview of all current iRacing GT3 cars. We wonder which one will be your favorite or the next addition to your shopping cart. To give you a boost, we've also compiled some wheelbase setup profiles for the Alpha Evo series wheelbases, especially for iRacing GT3 cars. Feel free to try any of them out if you're interested. Please share your favorite GT3 cars in the comments below. And until then, keep racing, Simagicians.